GSL.
Welcome to the GSL. Code A here with Tasteless and Wolf. Oh my God. We've already casted an entire group starting at 1 here today. It's now about 7 at night. We're on to the second group. Look, Pure's a very good player, but Paralyzed just has this incredible grasp of late game. I mean, he uses every possible option available to dismantle the Terran. And it's interesting because a lot of StarCraft games are these huge blows, or we could say, oh, at that 10-minute marker, this big battle happened. You can't lose all your Vikings, yada, 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 yada. But really, that was, Paralyzed slowly chiseling away at Pure until eventually he crumbled.
Yeah. Well said. Like, it was a sculpture, actually, too, that he ended up looking like when he died with all that chiseling, but...
He took the nose right off that sculpture, man.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He sphinxed that.
Yeah, he sphinxed it.
Yeah.
By the way,
he's got to go to Gangnam and get a new nose now, man, because he got sphinxed. All right, we're going into our next best of 3. It's a PvP here between YongHwa and Super here at the GSL Code A.
It's so funny. I don't know why that's just so funny to me. That Sphinx going to get plastic surgery, man.
Over here's YongHwa at the bottom right.
We're cross spawns on Way Station, by the way. YongHwa does not look happy, and he looks very tired.
Yeah, he does look a little bit
like he looks about to fall asleep,
in.
Like he needs to wake up.
In the upper left, in the purple, we have our other Protoss player. He is. His ID is.
He's also called
Super.
He's Super. You might know him as.
I guess we're not getting this intro. All right, so we have Super over here at the upper left, and we have YongHwa here in the bottom right.
There he is.
All right.
Super. That's what happens when Korean commentators are talking about plastic surgery on Sphinxes. And they don't talk about the player until it comes in.
Sphinx looks pretty good now.
Yeah.
Okay, so PvP, if you've been following us for a long time, we all know PvP can be short, it can be brutal, but it can make for some very epic late games if both players manage to get an expansion up, and those expansions are up for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Then we can go into a much longer game. Right, and I mean, from there, it's really about endgame PvP. I mean, it's hard for the other guy to kill him off from there.
This map has a third base that's like a bit awkward for PvP, I would say. If you look at the third base, taking YongHwa's perspective, right? If you take the third base that's above his natural, that's a bit cut off. Like, you could get cut off on that base really easily. It's kind of like taking the gold base on Habitation Station. It's easy to get trapped there. If you take the third that's kind of down to the left of your main, it's kind of far away and probably really hard to hold. So
yeah,
I don't think taking a third base in PvP on this map in these positions is going to be very easy at all, and I think we might not see it.
Yeah, it's possible for them to stay on 2 bases for a while. I mean, you do make a very good point, Wolf. The third base is in a bit of an uncomfortable spot to keep. PvP, though, again, is so short, we might end up, with one of these guys all in the other and the game being decided right away.
It's true. Well, so I'm going to walk you through, like, something my brain just did. Like, I was thinking about how to describe the version of this map that's long versus the one that's short. I thought about the rush distance, and one is like a slash that goes like this, and one's the one that goes like this. Which one is a forward? And then I started thinking, which one is a forward slash and which one's a backslash? You know the slash mark on the keyboard? Which one is forward and which one's back? I don't actually know. Is forward the one that goes like left at the bottom?
Forward slash goes left at the bottom, right at the top.
Okay, that's what
I believe.
I think you're right.
And backslash goes from left at the top. Because it would make sense, right? Forward slash to slash it's a slash, but it's falling forward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just like something.
Let me know if there's anything else I can do, Wolf. I'll be here for at least a few more hours, man.
Okay,
I'm a great resource if you use me correctly.
This is so we're on the backslash version of the map.
Yeah, we're in the backslash spots instead of forward slash spots. And we have an Oracle coming out here.
Yeah, a pretty quick one at that.
And Super is going to go for a robotics facility and get a quick Nexus, too.
Robo is a pretty safe build because you're safe against almost anything. It's kind of greedy when you go for the Nexus, but on the rush distance like this one, it's not so bad. I'm not thinking this Oracle is going to do too much damage, but there's only 2 Stalkers out, so you might be able to just ignore the DPS of the Stalkers for a second, get like 5 kills, then fly away.
It's almost up there in the top left. The Stalkers are in position to defend, but, you know, with an Oracle, the damage it deals is so quick. I mean, this could, you know, still do its job despite these units being here. Well, with the Sentry and the 2 Stalkers up here at this spot.
Targets 1, 2, 3, 4,
and it looks
then
like
get out.
He's going to lose this now. 4 kills.
I don't think that's worth it, actually.
Well, I mean, considering he lost it.
The gas spent for the Stargate, the late Nexus.
With the tech here, too, for the Protoss, it's not like he has air units. Let's say that our purple Super does decide to push out and do something aggressive here on the map. Well, then we have, you know, a problem because the Oracle can go back in there and kill off probes again.
Yeah, but now that it's gone, you know, that's a different story. But he is making a second one, which I think a lot of people would disapprove of because it's like, well, if you couldn't do damage the first time, how's he going to do it the second time? But it's not about doing damage. It's about that threat that you're talking about of just being able to come back in there.
Well, it's almost like, the threat of that unit coming out here is and killing off workers is such a problem that it could keep Super back at his base and maybe, excuse me, YongHwa back in it. What am I talking about? I can't cast today. Super, it would keep Super back in his base.
Yep.
So that if YongHwa, you know, let's say YongHwa could have died, maybe Super can't attack still because of this Oracle. But now he's going to attack in here again. And he might be able to get 5 probes here. But up, he gets 3. But he keeps it alive, which is most important here.
Exactly. Any probe number higher than 0 that he gets, as long as he keeps the Oracle alive, is totally fine.
And he mostly lost shields here, so that was definitely a good move. I noticed how the Immortals are actually tucked in between the 2nd and the 3rd. So it's a little bit harder to spot, you know, how much of an issue that's going to be. Meanwhile, YongHwa is getting Immortals of his own.
Yeah. +1 comes up a little bit faster for him, too. And that's something that may or may not come into play. We had a Twilight Council go up for Super that he hasn't used at all, which I find a bit strange. It's almost like he wanted to get Archons out faster because he didn't have like a +2 to get on a Forge or didn't really want to get Charge. It's a bit strange. Okay, now he gets Charge though. That's interesting. I don't really see him play like this too often. Super oftentimes ends his PvPs pretty quick though.
Yeah, he does have a lot of action-packed PvPs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Looks like YongHwa may be more prepped here for the mid-game into the late game with a +1 already there. His Twilight Council's on the way, but that +1's pretty important here. The Forge just now finishing, and Zealot Legs is going to be done shortly here for Super, but I don't know if Super can actually do much yet with Zealot Legs on 2 bases, which is why I'm going to lean a little bit more towards YongHwa.
Yeah. This Oracle has a lot of energy. He could even tag. Wouldn't be surprised, actually. Wouldn't blame him for it. Just constantly find out what that army's doing. Okay, so Super is going to be brave enough to take this 3rd base. That's to the right of his main. The Oracle's going to see this. But with that pylon placement, I think he might be able to just target that down. If he ever sees Super leave, he's going to definitely harass it at least. Kill some probes over there. It's a really nice pylon placement. And the Nexus gets started as well for YongHwa back at home, which is also spotted. So there's no secrets here. Probe is just watching it all.
Taking it all in. Taking it in, guys.
Look, that Nexus is building right before my eyes.
That was my warp, and that was my hard work. Okay,
He's
so
the
gateway explosion here for YongHwa.
Super's explosion a little bit stronger, actually, with 7 gates being added for him. 8 gates being added. It looks like he wants to hit a timing with that charge.
Yeah, and this could be pretty effective with the 8 gateway explosion here, and he's getting Templars now. So Zealot Archon, usually this is like the end game PvP army comp because it's the easiest to recreate. Oh my God, he barely saved that. Gee, mini Christmas.
Jiminy Christmas.
Well, let's see.
Gee Willikers.
Gee, egad, Wolf. Egad, he almost lost that pylon.
I'll say.
Ay caramba, Wolf. So, you know, he's actually backing off now. It looks like he wasn't sure they could have the third base shut down there.
Have mercy, Tasis.
I'm sorry.
You know, the third base actually, he's had it for a while, but he's not mining from it just yet. Doesn't matter too much considering he's looking to hit this timing, which has been somewhat identified from YongHwa. He's like seen this a few times. Like, you have a lot of gateways. I think he's really identified that he might do an attack, and it looks like Super might also be getting cold feet on this a little bit. He's not really walking across the map or setting up that attack anymore. And now charge gets added here for YongHwa, who has the better upgrades at +2 here for about 2/3 of a set of upgrades coming in. Oh, no defense here. Let's see how many kills he gets on this Oracle. 2 at least, 3, maybe 4.
Oh, 4. Yep.
Damage in that assimilator.
Not the assimilator. And the Oracle does get away. And that's what we were talking about earlier, guys. The presence of the Oracle really is a thorn in the paw of the Lion Super.
Yes.
Yes. No, but seriously, it actually can become very frustrating because there's not much you can do. I mean, you don't have a Stargate. You can't stop it. Anytime that you're not there or you're not even paying attention to that base, the possibility of the Oracle coming over there and doing a lot of damage is very strong. Plus, even if you catch it at the last second, the Oracle deals damage so fast it can kill so many workers.
Yeah, and even if you make like 1 cannon, then you can just circumvent the cannon. You make 2 cannons, and well, you just made 2 cannons, so it's already done its job. It's a really nice unit to have in this composition, or rather in this matchup. Not really in a comp because it's not really an attacking unit. I want to see the Archon counts of these two. Okay, perfect. 6-3, much more for Super here right now. And also, he has the better Immortal count too, so I like what he's built here quite a bit.
For a second, I thought I was like, how is he still warping that in with him with the warp prism gone? And then I'm like, oh, that's not his.
Well,
okay,
this army is really strong for Super right now. He has so many more expensive damage dealing units.
Okay, now this is a nice move. A nice Zealot warp in here. And this is going to be a serious problem right now because the travel distance here is tremendous.
I don't know about engaging like this with this army. It's a strong army, but it's not that strong.
Well, he needs to get the Archons closer to the front as well. I mean, right now Super has got a really nice Archon placement. Let's see how this turns out, though.
+3 for both of these players coming along nicely. YongHwa's going to have his slightly faster, assuming continued chrono boost for both.
When you have Time Warp here for the Zealots and the Archons, it's actually, let me rephrase this. If you have Zealot Archon armies against each other, Time Warp becomes so important. Because the Zealots then can't do anywhere near as much damage, and the Archons get a lot more free shots off. And the engagement's now begun!
Here we go. There's a lot of Archons for both sides here. That one Colossus does a lot of damage at the back. And I feel like Super was a little bit surprised by this engagement, but his composition...
Yeah, the angling here was just better by Super, and YongHwa is actually closed in on.
Just had way more Archons. He had the better Immortal count as well. Those Colossi, not really useful. Just doesn't matter. And that's going to be it.
Yeah, that should be it for this game. You know, in StarCraft II, because you get these death balls, you can just... If you get the right angle, it is so much stronger than the other player. Granted, the unit comp was also better. It was a combination of all those things. GG, Super shuts down YongHwa. Is YongHwa's story going to end here today? YongHwa, the tragic hero of the GSL. He's been so good for so long. He's never had a major success in individual league. He
just goes into Code S and goes back to Code A in the round of 32 like every single time.
Yeah, he ping-pongs between these two leagues constantly.
It's like that's his like orbit. It's actually just like between these two.
The moon of YongHwa orbits here. Caught between the gravitational pull of obscurity in Code A and the possibility of relevance here in Code S.
He just looks like he's in pain or something. I really hope he's okay.
He looks like he might be. I don't like to psychoanalyze too much, but yeah, he seems to be under the weather a little bit.
He actually had a lot of problems, and he said this in interviews, probably with his eyes, like about a year ago, but he got LASIK surgery and then said that everything was fine, so I don't think that's what's going on. You know, he said that he had problems seeing inside